Hello and welcome to another episode of the Never a Straight Answer podcast, the podcast that aims to cover a wide range of topics from conspiracy theories to popular culture and news. I'm your host Gaz, and joining me in the studio, well, it's said he's not a very social person, but when it comes to UFOs he's willing to make that extraterrestrial exception. He's my co-host, Mr. Taylor.
Yeah, good evening everybody, welcome.
Welcome along to another fantastic episode of the Never a Straight Answer podcast.
Hell yeah.
Oh, mate, spellbinding, I tell you. Thank you whether you are a new listener or a repeat offender.
Keep repeating.
You're welcome along every week. Keep coming along, honestly. Tonight we've got a fantastic show for you.
We have indeed.
We're going to be talking UFOs.
Yeah.
And also, we've talked about this, but we talk about UFOs a lot. But you think there's a bit of a change in the air, don't you? So, in the winds of change are blowing in terms of ufology.
Oh, yeah.
We're going to be looking tonight at the astonishing events of a UFO incident in Siberia, in Russia, that left an impression on eyewitnesses and those who were fortunate or unfortunate enough to be there that night. Despite the government's efforts to suppress the information, we're going to be talking about an incident that we believe to happen around 1941. Mm-hmm. But the incident actually only came to light in 1993 and has some remarkably eerie connections to the myth of Medusa.
Oh yes, it does.
Wow, this
Definitely
sounds interesting. We're going to be, that's all coming up in the show.
Yeah, indeed it is.
That's all coming up very, very soon. Firstly, though, I will ask you, what have you been up to this week?
Apart from getting attacked by a cat, a little kitten.
Oh, you're wet.
I've got bruises everywhere, but it was a good day out, man.
Oh, yeah. Well, you're talking about. We went up to Liverpool, didn't we? To meet one of our friends over there. Yeah. That was decent, but he had a little pet cat, which was it was only a kitten.
I know,
so it's very playful.
It was.
But you've come away with shredded up hands, haven't you? So
and legs. Oh, my knees are all shredded.
They're all like that. The cats, they just like to play.
Yeah.
That was nice. I went to Comic Con.
Yes.
Or MegaCon, as they called it.
Yeah.
Because obviously Manchester Comic Con, it used to be over at the GMEX, and they've changed the location now. So that's happening in Trafford, Manchester. But the MegaCon's it's on the same weekend, so it can get a bit confusing.
Exactly. Yeah.
And it's also splits up that fan base. Do you know, anyone who's interested in going to a con?
Yeah.
It kind of
choice of two.
Well, you've got the choice of two, but it also splits the attractions and stuff that's going around to be able to kind of the stuff that's available on that weekend for something like that.
Yeah.
So basically, it means that there's less attractions in each of them. Yeah, that's right. True. So they must have to work a lot harder to try and get it to kind of be as good as they can want it to be. But it's join forces, man. Just join pool together and get
I agree on that.
The Uber Mega Comic Con. Do you know what I mean?
Hey, that'd be a good one.
I want to see, because previous years they've had vehicles from
Batman,
Batman, the DeLorean and stuff like that. And you don't even see anything like that. It's more geared towards getting your photo taken in front of a poster. Do you know what I mean? So they have these sets that if you've done a bit of cosplay, you can kind of go and get your photo taken. Yeah, she's fine.
Yeah. It's all good on that one.
It's one of them. We want to see more geeky attractions, is what I want.
Well, more substance.
Yeah, exactly. More and substance. A bit more kind of.
It was all right, though.
Yeah, it was all right. Yeah,
it wasn't great, but it was all right.
It wasn't as good as previous years, is what I'll say. Yeah. But I did post a little video because I went Deadpool hunting.
That's right, you did, didn't you?
I went hunting Deadpools. Yeah. No, because I like Deadpool, and I think I think
a lot of people do.
So it's funny, because everyone's going on about the Spider-Verse and multiple realities and multiple versions and variants, right? Yeah. But Deadpool's much the same, So people kind of take the Deadpool costume cosplay in different directions. So on the video, I kind of was looking for the best variations of Deadpool. Do you know what I mean? And I found a few. So that's on the TikTok anyway. I posted that on TikTok. So you can see what Comic Con in Manchester was like anyway. So if you were interested in doing that, but it's been an interesting week, for a couple of different reasons, but in weird, interesting ways.
Yes, you're not wrong there.
But it's I like that. Keeps life interesting, doesn't it?
That's true. It keeps you on your toes, doesn't it, really?
Exactly, yeah.
That's what you want.
This week's episode is brought to you in part by Audible.
It is.
if it's a good way of making the most of every moment, if you like audiobooks, they do have a big range on the subject of UFOs. I mean, they do have quite a lot of different topics, but they do have a lot of kind of like paranormal, ufology, and kind of weird kind of stuff. It's not all about like your Harry Potters and stuff like that.
Yeah,
but
if you like a little bit off the side, like
bit of different, a little bit different.
Yeah.
Well, they do have that. Yeah.
Yes,
so like, if you sign up through the link in the description, you will get 30 days to try it out. You'll get one free book. Yours to keep even if you cancel. Prime customers will receive 2 audiobooks in their trial. The ability to choose from the world's largest selection of audiobooks, including bestsellers, new releases, sci-fis, romances, mysteries, classics, and more.
It's massive.
After 30 days, you'll receive one more book.
Yes, you
for
will.
the low cost of $7.99. I'm not sure. I need to check the price.
Well,
Because do you know what? We've been
prices
doing
might
this
have
for
gone
a while, and the price might have gone up. I'll have to check.
might have.
It renews automatically, but cancels anytime. Easy. If you wanted to check it out, do that. It's all helps us out. Free trial as well, isn't it?
Yeah, you might.
Now, I keep saying this about free trials, right? People need to kind of realise. So when you go onto an app or you download an app or whatever and you get a free trial, right? Is this just me or does anybody else do this, right? I literally go and cancel it straight away.
Straight away?
Yeah, because I think people worry that if, like, so say if you sign up for a 3-month Amazon trial or something,
Prime
or
something.
Prime or something,
so you got
that if you cancel it or if you don't, you need to kind of wait until the very last minute to cancel it. Yeah, that's not true, right? No. If you sign up to a free trial and then cancel it the second you signed up to it, you will still get that 30-day month. You'll still get that month. It'll say, okay, we're going to turn you off after the date. 30 days time, right? If you've not added a new payment method or decided you want to change your mind and actually take us up on it. But
but you might do.
I do it all the time, honestly. So say if I download an app and it says, "Oh, we need to you need to subscribe for a trial or whatever," just kind of do it and then cancel through through Google Play straight away.
But then when you cancel it, you might in a couple of days' time go, you know what? I wouldn't mind. That was a good.
Well, that's what I'm saying. If it is actually good, then I don't mind paying for it. But generally, it's like just to try something. I hate the fact that you have to kind of like maybe, sign up to a subscription. But like that's why these trials exist, don't they? That's true. Just make sure. The problem is with people worry that they're going to kind of tick over and going to get charged. Just cancel it straight away. Exactly. Yeah.
If it works,
that's what I do. I never get charged anyway. I've got a riddle for you.
Oh,
riddle time for you, sir.
Riddle me that.
Now, I don't know if anyone's been kind of keeping score or even kind of getting involved with the riddling. Yeah, but we've been playing this riddle game. We've played it before.
We have many moons ago, but we've started it up again.
And basically, it's Taylor asked me a riddle, I asked Taylor a riddle. You can play along at home.
If you want.
What was your riddle last week? I got it, didn't I? Well, I'm not going to expect you to remember it, but I think I got it right.
You did.
Yeah, right.
You did.
Which
don't
means
know how, but you
means
did.
I'm one up, right? So I've got a riddle for you today.
You're 2 up, aren't you? From the first one, because that was the second one. This is the first one.
So you didn't get the first one?
No, I didn't get the first one.
So does that mean I just means that you don't score a point, does it?
That's true. Yeah, we'll go with that.
All right. He's just
better that than you having 2 points and me none. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
I'll go with that one.
No, it was like I guessed your riddle. You get no points because you didn't guess my riddle. So
well,
you're trailing with 0.
You could get a point for being so clever.
I'm not being clever, but I mean, all right, you might be clever and get this now. Yeah.
Well, hopefully.
Right. Okay. Here's your riddle.
Go for it.
Right. You ready?
No.
I'm taken from a mine and shut in a wooden case, which from I'm never released. I'm used by almost every person every day, although you may not constantly use me. You will never touch me, or you will ever see me. What am I?
Cold?
Ooh, you're very close.
Am I?
Yeah. Sort of, yeah, but not. So,
well, you touch gold,
I'm going to give you the riddle again. I'm taken from a mine and shut up in a wooden case, from which I'm never released. I'm used by almost every person every day. Although you might not use me constantly, you'll never touch me and you'll never see me. What am I?
I think I got it.
Go on.
Something like plutonium or something.
No,
Nuclear.
you're not getting it right.
No.
No. I'll give you till the news to have a think about it.
Okay.
You might be at home thinking, I know what that is.
Wood?
Clever if you have. If you've got it right, then clever you are. Right. I'll give you the answer just before the news.
Yeah,
is that all right?
Yeah.
All
yeah,
right.
yeah.
Okay.
I've just got my head ticking, that's all.
It's all right. Well, you can have a think about it.
Oh, I will.
Well, tonight's episode, we're going to be talking about the Russian soldiers who turned to stone after shooting down a UFO.
Oh, yeah.
So this is an incident that happened. We think it was around the 40s, you think? Well, do you think it was happening around the 40s?
I think it was around about 41, 42, if I recall it right.
Well,
I tried to look for the date again, but it was just comes back to this.
Well, this comes back down to like documents that were released on March 27th, 1993, when the CIA put out a report about a strange case of events that have involved Russian soldiers. Yeah. According to the report, some Russian soldiers turned to stone after shooting down a UFO. There was actual photographs and eyewitness statements.
Yeah, drawings as well. There was quite a lot of that.
Well, it's an interesting case. So basically, it was a Russian intelligence report obtained by the CIA that was a peculiar case indeed. The Russian report basically had hundreds of pages, and it included intelligence from UFO attacks. And according to the report, some Russian soldiers actually turned to stone after shooting down one of the UFOs. So there is, like I say, photographic evidence, witness statements. What happened here? Because it's an interesting one. Because obviously the pages that they refer to, these 250 pages that were accompanying this case. Yeah. Also, there was a number of photographs, images, eyewitness testimonies. Yeah. Who witnessed the strange event.
2 soldiers.
It's crazy.
Survived.
Yeah, Russian soldiers. So this happened on a Russian training center, right? So this was a Russian military training unit in Siberia. Yeah. So what's happening here?
So basically, the report states that this 250-page document states that there was a unit of soldiers that were doing training exercise in a part of Siberia. At one point, a craft turned up. So the soldiers started shooting at it. One of them, for some reason, got a land-to-air missile and fired it at it, took it down. It come down close near them. And then there was supposedly 5 bodies that come out, aliens that had come out of the craft, which was big-headed, black-eyed.
Oh, with this kind of, we'll go into that in a bit, but like, so it's your typical alien then?
Yeah.
I mean, like, so they've kind of, they've managed to shoot this thing down, which is quite an easy task, I would say, straight out of the bat.
That's right, yeah.
You've managed to shoot this craft down,
shot, yeah.
And the craft's kind of obviously crash landed. So there's evidence there. There's a craft.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah. So you've got that. You've got these beings that have come out, and how many's in the unit? Do you think
25?
25 people.
25, yeah.
So you've got 25 people who's witnessed this event happen, right?
Yeah.
All military.
Yeah. All military. Yeah.
So what happened next?
So then,
sorry, I've got a bit of frog in my throat.
Yeah, that's all right. So then these soldiers, I'm presuming, because why would you fire back if you're not being shot at?
Well,
I'm presuming the soldiers first already attacked this vehicle without knowing what it is, bring it down, and then these objects come out of it, and they're not like exactly.
Well, they're not friendly now, are they? At this point,
exactly.
Yeah.
So I'm presuming the soldiers are going to persist and continue
engage
in it.
I suppose with because I mean the document only came out after Mikhail Gorbachev was like his party and everything had been dissolved in 1991. Yeah, this is when all these documentation started coming out.
Yeah, you could easily get into Russia and
so obviously this was like the Soviet Union, so this was before
Russia,
exactly. There was
now.
a lot of stuff that was able to be released because there was no one really in charge then at that time.
That's right.
So when this actually happened was way before, during the Soviet Union days, I'm assuming. So it's an interesting one because, like, obviously they're out there. If they're in the middle of Siberia and they see a craft, then they probably would fire upon it because obviously they know it's going to be it's not one of theirs, basically, and it's on their turf.
Yeah, but there should be... now there are rules of engagement of, like, you don't fire upon someone unless you're being fired upon. You know what I mean? Stuff like... Little stuff like that to control yourself and control your team. But, obviously, these were in the middle of an exercise, wound up probably a bit, and in them days as well, you've got the added pressure of your government on top of you. It wasn't really. I didn't live there, but from what all the reports are, I've heard is like it weren't a good time to live in Russia.
Yeah.
So you had no money. There was nuclear arms coming up, and there was always fighting, and life wasn't great. But yeah, so all this pressure on top of the soldiers doing their exercise and making sure that, they've got to do this right, whatever the exercise is. And they might have thought that this is a part of the test that they don't even know about. So
they've basically engaged with this unidentified entity and unidentified ship. Yeah. So I'm just reading some of the actual CIA stuff here, and it basically says, I mean, I know we basically said it turns them to stone, but there's a phrase here how it's worded here, that they basically the case as a horrific picture that reveals the part of the extraterrestrial creature, a picture that makes one's blood freeze. There's that. That's but right. Also, the idea that they were able to freeze human beings. Do you know what I mean? Like, what was this? Because there was reports from a number of the guys out there. So they say it was 25 guys.
Yeah, there was.
Not all of them were turned to stone, were they?
No. What had happened was these 5 beings had gotten closer together, and then a bright kind of light turned out around them. Then, which makes it a little funny when I heard this, that they turn into a shape.
Okay, because they said
oval shape.
What, the ship, or they did?
They did.
Right. Okay. So you Hadoukened them.
Yeah.
This is what when you described it to me, it was almost like they were doing a Hadi Hadi Ha or whatever, a Kami Kami Ha or whatever. They Hadoukened them. Do you know, like they were just powering up?
Yeah. Well, that's it. I mean, it was like the power of all of them together created this kind of light, and then the men were being frozen basically within it. This all happened within 2 seconds. That the glow, and then it burst out, and then the 23 soldiers were put to stone, started breaking up. Well, 2 soldiers were actually in the shade to actually not get as much of the.
Yeah, I'm just reading that here. So it was basically like there was right. Okay, so there was 5. Short humanoids with large heads, large black eyes that emerged from the ship. Yeah, right. So the shape of the saucer appeared above.
Yeah.
The military unit that was on a concluding routine training.
Yeah.
For unknown reasons, somebody unexpectedly launched a surface-to-air missile and hit the UFO.
Yeah.
It fell to Earth not far away. 5 short humanoids with large heads, and large eyes emerged from it. It stated that in the testimonic by the two soldiers. Oh, sorry, wait, sorry, yeah, it's because it's thing it's like it's typewriter writing.
Yeah, exactly.
So it stated in the testimonies by the two soldiers who remained alive that after freezing themselves from the debris, the aliens came close enough together and then merged into one single object that, according, like you were just saying, then became a spherical.
Yeah.
That object then started to buzz, and then became a brilliant white light, and then a few seconds basically grew into a bigger ball of energy.
Yeah.
What the fuck? It's extremely bright. Then is that what happened? Then instantly 23 of the soldiers had basically turned into stone.
Oh, yeah, they were breaking up in front of the other soldiers' eyes.
Well, it doesn't actually say that. It says stone poles. Yeah. So does it turn? I mean, were they like still human? Was it like they were literally medusa'd and turned to stone statues, or were they just transformed into another sort of, with the molecular molecules absolutely transformed into something that would just be like a column?
Well, this is where it kind of goes like because it's a third party part, this, because they've got the 250 documents that they've looked at, and someone who's been sent over there, CIA guy or woman, has been sent over there. They found this report. They read these reports, and this is the report that they send back to the USA, to headquarters. That this is what's going on.
Well, the KGB report goes on to say that the remains of the UFO and the petrified soldiers were then transferred to a secret scientific research institute near Moscow.
Yeah, that's right.
Then they basically assumed that that was it. It's just kind of going to be covered up, isn't it? But what happened to these entities?
Two soldiers, I'd like to know more. To be honest, I wonder if they would be still in the state of mind.
Even though they were in the shade, I think they still got hit by a bit of the debris from it. So I don't know what sort of injuries they kind of had.
Yeah, that's
true. But I asked you this. I mean, like, what sort of stone was it that they turned them into? Because I'm sure they'd be doing testing on these statuettes or these these columns.
Yeah.
Because you'd want to know what you're dealing with. Why is it turned into like living organisms been transformed into a substance? What is it?
It takes decades, even millions of years to actually provide.
Interestingly, when they did apparently there is a bit of research on this, right? The substance they were turned into was no different than limestone.
Yeah, that's right.
So limestone's an interesting one, actually. I don't know why I find that so interesting.
Soft, crumbly one
But the CIA representative stated that if the KGB files were, legit, they really had an extraterrestrial meeting, and they had the alien ship
technology.
Then that's quite an interesting thing.
Yeah, but you got to think of it this as well. What happened there was actually from the 5 beams which disappeared. It didn't actually come from the ship.
1942, this potentially. So according to rumours that have circulated among extraterrestrial enthusiasts, the Russian made contact with the grey aliens as early as 1942. This is, whether this is the original
Roswell,
time.
if you think about it.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, but I mean, whether this is the original, meet up or what, or was. And this is what led to the meeting, because you've just blew us out of the sky, mate.
Yeah.
We want to exchange insurance information at least. Do you know what I mean?
I want at least a conversation, mate.
I mean, as for the 2 soldiers that survived the incident, I mean, I want to know what happened, because these 2 soldiers obviously provided detailed accounts of the incident according to as eyewitnesses.
Pictures as well.
Drawings. It's quite a.
There's quite a lot, but the thing on this story is that these documents were let out in May of 2000 from a big collection from the CIA, secret documents that were let loose. But this Russia still to this day has not let any of this information out. So we can only go really off what the CIA documents they found. I mean, and don't forget as well, Russia was well known for using aliens and UFOs for hiding their own technology and using weaponry.
It's interesting though, because I know I liken this story to kind of the myth of Medusa.
Yeah.
Because it is an interesting one, because obviously they turn into stone. Now,
There's nothing that can do it in.
well, I know, but it's
natural.
obviously Greek mythology, so like,
Yeah.
you know, but there is nothing that can do that.
No.
And the idea of this being who has serpent features or has a serpent hair, yeah. Now think
Yeah.
about what they say there,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
So there was 5 beings,
Yeah.
right? But they all merged and joined into one,
Yeah.
right? So Medusa was supposed to be one being which had like a living haircut, which was all snakes. And
That's
if you
right.
looked into the eyes of Medusa, you'd turn into
fucked.
stone.
Yeah.
Yeah. So potentially, again, these gods that we've kind of all put faith into over the years,
Yeah,
where
yeah.
maybe like, or put sort of, I don't know.
Put in
I
the
mean, I'm
god
not saying putting
bracket.
faith into, because I mean, I'm not saying like they were all aliens. Don't get me wrong. I mean, but some of them, could there be some sort of truth in the myth? And you know,
Well,
because you know,
wherever
if,
there's a myth,
again,
there is
it's
a little
like
bit
if you
of truth.
turn up and like you've got a load of Roman or I don't know, like who was it? Greeks. Yeah.
Well, we had a lot of Greeks and the Roman
soldiers
gods
fighting,
were the same.
going in to fight, and then they go, whoa, we can't. There's a serpent being in there that turned half my men to stone.
Yeah.
That sounds eerily familiar to this story.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Like, and it's kind of almost like,
It's sort of kind of propaganda in a kind of way. It could be used as that.
Well, she was actually a guardian or protectress, yeah.
Right.
Also called Gorgo, one of the 3 Gorgons, which was described as a human female with living venomous snakes in place of hair. Those do gaze into the eyes, turn to stone. Most sources describe her as the daughter of... I can't even say that. Which another god.
Yeah.
Although, so she's a god. She's the daughter of gods.
Yeah.
So is that a demigod,
Yeah.
or is a demigod when she like a mortal and a god?
I think more.
maybe.
Yeah,
I don't know.
yeah, but like, don't forget with, like you were saying, like.
But she was one of the
Greek
3
history.
Gorgon sisters. Yeah. So like, yeah. But again, 3 Gorgon sisters.
Yeah.
And she's one of the children. So the other 2 is the same. I don't know. I'm just trying
Well,
to
I've
find
only
that
ever heard
similarity,
of
because
one.
the only time I've ever heard of a being turning someone into stone is the
Yeah,
Greek mythology of Medusa.
Yeah.
Yeah.
She's the only one I recognise.
And that serpent sort of kind of features and stuff like that. I mean, having the snake connection, it kind of makes
Well, a
me...
lot of tribes have a lot of snake connections as well. I mean,
It's crazy that the
Yeah.
hospital is... I mean, snake, a
Yeah.
serpent around
Yes,
a cane is
yes.
actually the
tooth
international symbol for a hospital.
Yeah,
and that
medical,
makes me feel like, what, so in case I get bit by a snake? Or what? I don't get why that is that.
that's to do with is it Rome or Greek gods? Yeah, that's. I don't
Don't
know
hurt
a lot.
yourself. We'll
I'm
have a
not-
look into
yeah,
that at
yeah,
some
we
point.
will. Yeah.
I'll have a look.
It's
If anyone can
interesting.
tell us, let me know. 'Cause
Well, it's
I'm
very
interested to
interesting
know.
how these gods are as well, because like I was saying, like you've got near enough the same gods in Greek than you have in Rome. You know what I mean? They were pretty much the same.
Quite mirrored. Yeah.
And there's quite a lot around the world in tribes as well. They pretty much have roughly kind of the same gods, and snake is like one of them as well.
Yeah. Well, it's
They have reptile aliens.
the
as well.
serpent. It shows up in religious text, but
Yeah.
more as in like a deceiver or somebody who's going to kind of like try and trick you.
Well,
or
she
something.
does trick you if
Like,
you think about it.
Come with me.
Yeah.
to
Come and have a look in my
Tuscany.
eyes, and I'll stone
Well,
you.
that's yeah. She can
So
turn
she
you to
tricked
limestone, turn you to stone. So, in terms of like the ufology side of it,
Yeah.
like, do you think they might be, could this Medusa god be like some sort of ancient relative to these,
Possibly.
aliens?
Or it's
Could
some
be.
kind of device.
Well, you said that it was like a device, but it was when you were telling me, and I was like, oh, trying to charge up, like they were going to do Hadoukens on each other or whatever. Yeah. Because you said that they go to touch the chest, and it's almost like they're channeling energy through themselves, or are they channeling energy through the earth and out of the ground, or what? What is it?
Do you know what? That's that. Thinking about it in that case, it possibly could, but there was another story that I'm really into about a guy who got shot by an alien in a kind of a similar way.
Shot by an alien.
Single alien, not like a couple.
So it was a showdown. It was like cowboys versus aliens.
Well, yeah, and he supposedly he'd lost his fingers. He'd shown like the scar on his chest.
Oh right, so he's actually
he actually has physical. Well, he did before he was murdered.
Oh
yeah.
Well, there you go. I mean,
another story.
The idea of obviously like these
a weapon like that. Imagine.
Well, it's funny because this is the thing. It's like we always kind of wonder about Area 51 and stuff like that. Yeah. But I mean, it's like it's interesting to know what other countries around the world have got, and how everyone keeps that top level of secrecy about it all. You know what I mean?
Well,
like, so it makes me think like, well, has the UK got anything they're hiding? It's all good us saying, we're on board for them, all these whistleblowers coming out and saying, the United States have obviously had a cover-up. Yeah. But in terms of, like, the rest of the world, other countries have done exactly the same thing.
And what are the consequences for it?
So if there has ever been a crashed UFO in the UK or in Australia or in Russia or in China or anywhere else in the world, they're all complicit in the cover-up because they've all done exactly the same thing. And it's only now that American people or American whistleblowers are going, we want to question our government because we think we're being lied to. So if they do kind of go, it's a fair cop, here's the stuff you asking for, here's all the evidence, then it blows the doors open on all the other governments who were also hiding similar secrets. Do you know what I mean?
I want to say so much now, but there's a news story later on, and
we'll get into that in a bit. It's not too far off, to be honest.
What do you believe that this story has happened, or do you reckon it's been embellished?
It's one of those where reading that document makes me think that there was definitely something happened out there, and it was so out of the way that like the only people who actually know is the people who were there, and the only two people who survived were probably well looked after because of it and sworn for secrecy.
They're gone and
KGB, isn't it? So it's like it's not exactly like they were going to be like blabbing to the media. So I mean, it's one of those where it's a similar case to Roswell. It's like, did it or didn't it happen? It'd be nice to think that it did happen because that's obviously a before Roswell, and it means that the interactions were going on a lot longer before that, right? Obviously, it's still one of those things that we can never prove it, but it's an interesting story. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, it's one of them where
it is scary to think, and it does open up the conversation about, well, what alien technology do they have? If there is such things as aliens and they are visiting our planet, we'd like to think that they were coming in a nice, friendly way, but the chances are they might not be. So what technology and weaponry would they have that we need to know about? That's the difference, So
from what I've heard, it's mind blowing. It is way ahead of what we ever think of. Dreaming of like holograms,
turn you to stone by all accounts. Can turn you to a block of limestone.
Yeah, and there's actually
that's how they built the pyramids. They just piled all the guys on top of each other like in a big human pyramid, and then just turned them all to stone, and there you go, pyramid.
But they've actually tried experiments on trying to make this a faster process to see if they can do it, which they got a block of wood and put it in acid for 2 days, then they took it out and put it in but that's a long solution.
So how do you speed that process up is what I'm saying.
Well, it took 5 days to process.
So you could turn a block of wood into limestone in 5 days?
Within 5 days, but it didn't turn out the way that the soldiers or limestone would have turned out.
Yeah, well, this just seemed to be instant, didn't it?
Yeah.
So I don't know. But, this is crazy. Crazy.
Japan has just not that long ago had found a virus that actually, when it comes up to another amoeba, it actually turns it to stone. It brings it like a shield round it. So there's actually something on our planet that could actually do that.
Ah, right, I see. It'd take a bit of research on that thing to see.
That's what they're doing.
Wow, you want to turn us into stone? We'll turn you into stone first. We've got amoebas.
And it's called the medusa virus as well.
Is it?
Yeah,
there you go, you see. I feel like anything turning anyone to stone is going to be called have a link to Medusa.
Oh, yeah.
Well, whether the Siberia UFO incident continues, it just continues to elude definitive explanation, really, doesn't it?
Yeah, true.
And the fates of the statues remains unsolved.
Yeah.
The speculations range from hopefully they'll turn up one day. Do you know what I mean?
Well, yeah, if they're not dust now.
Well, they might just crash. They might actually snap out of it one day and wake up and go, "What the fuck?"
You reckon? Yeah, well,
I don't know. They might be able to turn them back.
Well,
reunite them with their loved ones.
The blood freezes. The blood is on them actually froze. So with blood and being frozen.
Well, that's what they said. Yeah, like frozen blood earlier. But like that, I think they were trying to say that there was some really horrific stuff included in the file, the 250-page file, including photographs. And they said that one of the photographs was enough to make your blood freeze as well. Do you know what I mean? And I think that was just because how horrific the incident was.
Yeah.
But as the years pass, the incident just becomes part of UFO lore, drawing intrigue and curiosity.
That's true.
Those who were captivated by it, obviously, like the UFO community, will say it happened and it's thingy, but we never know.
Yeah, well, that's it.
Especially being out of kind of in the Eastern Bloc, we kind of gather whether that's legitimate information or not.
Yeah,
but
it's true.
You never know.
It's true. You never know, but it's a possibility that this actually happened. But then again, there's a possibility only a bit of it happened. You know what I mean? It's wherever there's wherever there's a story, there's always a bit of line, a bit of truth. You know
Whenever there's a story, I can smell bullshit.
Yeah, I can smell blood.
Well, it's one of those where they're all very similar, aren't they? Because I mean, even with eyewitness testimony, I mean, like you say, when it's linked to kind of military. You kind of have to take it with I feel like that's more credible, right? So if a military person says, "No, I was there, I saw it, and this was not a military," they know they know what they've got.
Yeah,
right?
of course.
They know what crafts they've got. They know most of them. Or if they're entitled to that information.
Yeah. And the technology is way above.
But I think the most average military person would be able to recognise something as not their own.
Yeah.
Yeah. Right.
Yeah, totally.
100%. Yeah. Right.
Yeah.
They might not even be privy to that information, but they could guarantee and say that ain't us.
Yeah, you could work it. You could work it out. You could calculate it out by just looking at the object as like an engineer.
So in terms of how many people do come out and give testimonies and say, "Yeah, I saw something, and I can guarantee you now it wasn't anything that is Earth, or Earth, or it has Earth origins."
Yeah.
So when that happens, you've got to kind of give it a bit more kind of credibility.
Especially now.
And I mean, these two Russian guys who survived have obviously given a testimony and said that, "Look, mate, this is what's happened. Look, I'm not going to lie about it. I've just lost 23 of my friends."
Or was it
interrogation?
Because you know what the KGB were like, you know what I mean? We'll interrogate that, you know what I mean?
Well, even if
they might have been silent and go, "I'm not saying anything."
Well, maybe they did interrogate him to get that information out of him, but we would never know.
Yeah.
And it's however they got that information, these guys opened up and gave an account of what happened that day.
Yeah, and some shocking shit.
Some of and like I say, when they've got photographs of a crime scene, basically.
Totally.
Yeah, because I'm assuming that if they went in to retrieve the craft, then they would have, took photos
and stuff like
everything like that. They've obviously said they've retrieved these statues.
Yeah.
So that's 23.
Yeah, that's right.
Human man-sized statues, right, in a warehouse somewhere. Nobody knows what the fuck they are.
Wouldn't it be freaky if they're actually out there somewhere?
What?
Being
the statues.
used
That's what I'm saying. I feel
not in a warehouse, but outside someone's property.
Oh, that's scary.
You know what I mean? Like a general's property. I keep my eye on it. Just leave it there, mate.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? No one's going to know that these are
That's
real.
what I'm saying. I want to know what the fate of those are. So maybe we'll have to have a look, try and find them. Yeah. Random statues left in Siberia.
Yeah, let's knock on them and see if they answer back.
Yeah, it's like, hello, you in there? Yeah, well, they did tests on them, so I'm assuming they were laboratory tested and then housed somewhere.
Yeah,
it's almost like I reckon every country's got one of those warehouses, like at the end of Indiana Jones. Do you know where it's like we're going to put our top men on
Pentagon.
it? Well, yeah. It's like, what are you going to do with them statues now? Because he's my mate.
Yeah.
And he's like, well, we're putting our top men on it. Yeah. And it's like, oh, right, well, who's your top men? It's like, our top men. And then it's like, all right, I'm not going to press you. And then they just shelve him, put him in a warehouse.
Can't have him in the backyard. It's my mate, you know what I mean?
I can
say hello every morning.
Can make a water feature out of him.
Wonder if the wife will like it if I put it in the bedroom.
Yeah. Oh, dodgy guy, you.
Oh, no.
Well, there you go. That's the story anyway. Whether you believe it or not, it's an interesting UFO story.
Have a look yourself,
Have a look into it. Yeah, right. But we love these kind of strange ones that, you never know. But let us know what you think of it. If you've heard this one before and you've got a bit more information to impart, you give us a shout and fill in the blanks, because I think it's quite a fascinating one. And again, it's just another case of, UFOs visiting the planet where people think, was it? Are we alone?
That is the question.
This is it. Yeah, we'll get into some more about this in the news anyway. That's coming up. But yeah, drop us an email at neverstraightanswer@gmail.com if you've got any questions. We're available on all social media at TikTok, on X. Yeah. It's not called Twitter anymore, is it? It's called X.
No, is it called Twitter but put the X in there, or is it now called X?
X.
It's called X now.
Yeah, check it out. Check
so
us out.
if I go on my phone, go to the app, it's going to come up with X.
It's funny that, because my app's not changed, but on the website it has.
Ah, right.
So I'll show you that in a bit.
Because it's not only for a little while. It's not permanent.
All the icons have changed and everything, but we're on X at NASA_never. We're on Facebook and Instagram. Space. Well, this is it, isn't it? It's his whole shtick.
It is.
Yeah, he's got X on everything because he wants to be, gangster.
Yeah, he does.
Anyway,
and I got some news about him in the news.
Oh, have you?
Yeah.
Well, that's coming up shortly.
It is.
But first, I think we need to go into this riddle again, because I don't want to, forget again.
Yeah.
So I'll give you the riddle again. Right, for those at home who've played along, if you've got this right, well done to you if you got it right straight away, first of all.
Yeah.
But I need to make a little alteration in the riddle, because I think it's a bit inaccurate, and I think you might make you a little bit of difference anyway.
Yeah.
So I'm going to I'll rephrase the riddle anyway.
Okay.
So I'm taken from a mine and shut up in a wooden case from which I'm never released. I'm used by every person, or almost every person, every day. Although you may use me constantly, you'll never touch me, but you will see me. What am I?
Salt.
Salt? Why? Salt?
Salt, yeah, salt mines.
Well, do you want to know the answer?
Yeah, you're going to have to, because, I
was going to press the two... hang on.
2 hours later.
Right, the answer to this week's riddle is lead.
Oh.
Yeah.
I knew it was
lead.
Pencil
lead, so just simply lead. So the pencil lead is taken from a mine, graphite mines.
Yeah.
It's put in a wooden case, which is the pencil.
Right.
It's used by almost every person every day for drawing and writing, and that's where you'll see it.
Yeah.
So there you go.
Yeah.
There's this week's riddle. It was indeed lead.
Yeah. Well, most of us use computers now. We don't use.
True that. We're drawing. People draw.
Yeah.
And you see the results. You see the lead on the paper.
Yeah, true.
Yeah. All right. Well, there you go.
Yeah.
If you got it right, congratulations, you
nice
big
one.
brain. You check out the big brain on Brad.
Yeah. So
well done. Well, we're gonna get into the news, and that's coming up right about now. It's the news. Wait a minute. Firstly, I feel like I should get the point for getting you stumped on the old quiz, really. So that'd make me 3 points up.
It would, and it would make me
3 points down.
disappointed.
Very disappointed boy.
Very.
It's nice because I do the quiz on the TikTok, but I never win quizzes, so like this is quite nice.
So this is an opportunity.
It's an opportunity to actually win.
Whee.
Firstly, first point of news: Sinead O'Connor.
Yeah.
Rest in peace, Sinead O'Connor passed away this week. It was such a sad thing when you heard it.
Yeah.
But there was a video that was released, and she wasn't in a good way by all accounts.
I've heard about this. Yeah.
She was basically living in a hotel or something, and I mean, I don't know how legit this is, but she was apparently not having a really good time of it, and I was saying about how, I feel like she felt like nobody was reaching out to find out whether she was okay and stuff like that. Yeah. And I was like, well, everyone's got somebody like that in their life. Do you know what I mean? Who you think, well, you know what? I take it for granted. I just think they're okay most of the time because who they are. They're not quite a strong person or whatever.
Yeah.
But just to kind of give somebody a phone call and say, do you know what? I just thought I'd call and say, how are you doing?
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Because some people are proud. They don't want to give, say when they're in a pickle.
Yeah.
Yeah, but it's just.
Well, it needs mustard in it.
But that's kind of thing brought that to light a lot for me.
Yeah.
And I kind of felt like she was such a talented person.
Yeah.
That
True.
she will be missed. Honestly,
she had a tragedy last year.
Nothing compares to you, Sinead.
Yeah.
Yeah, she's had. It sounds like she's had a tragic couple of years or something.
She's had a bad couple of years,
I just wanted to kind of say. I mean, obviously, it's really sad. She was a musical, brilliant musician.
Yeah,
brilliant voice.
Yeah.
Really will be missed. So that was just my first story, really. But we will move on quite quickly. Have you got anything you've seen in the news?
I have. I've just seen a report in Ghana about they're starting to do experiments with bats.
Okay.
Basically,
what doing?
To try and find more ways to combat diseases and viruses, because I couldn't believe this when I heard this.
It's funny, I've got a story very kind of similar, on a very similar vibe in it, so you go for it.
One bat can contain 72,000... That's 72,000 different viruses.
Known diseases. Yeah. Oh
that
my god.
That is just immense.
The little sort of little kind of
they're like little super soldiers. They can take it. Yeah.
Maybe they should kind of try and find out how they do that and kind of be able to use that.
Well, I think that's one of the ideas to try and combat, because
wait a minute, how are they doing that? I mean, are they all right by having these diseases? I assume. If they can have so many diseases and still go about the day, then I'm assuming that's like some sort of fucking Wolverine style level healing factor they've got going on there.
It's the animal that holds.
It's the animal that won't quit when you want it to.
Viruses and cannot get it gets along with it somehow. So
that's why Batman never
immune system must be.
Man.
Fucking immense. I don't know.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I mean, is there no way of you'll get some bright spark who'll try and do some super soldier serum with bats.
Well, we've already got the US Navy down there doing experiments anyway, and now we've got some more people, but hopefully these people are actually looking to do some good with it.
Well, okay, maybe. No, right, all right. Well, so you're talking about that, doing experiments on stuff, but I found this story, it's pretty recent as well. So what they've done is a local federal authority spent months investigating a warehouse in Fresno.
Okay,
This is in California.
Yeah.
Just suspected that there was some illegal activity going on there.
What, drug den, gun running,
an unauthorized, an unlicensed laboratory. Anything like that. Maybe meth cooking. Who knows? But they were doing an investigation because they felt like there was something going on. Yeah, right. When they actually got into the lab, they found it was full of mice, medical waste, and hazardous materials. Right.
Oh shit!
The Fresno County Public Health Department has been investigated the situation, they've said it was definitely an unlicensed laboratory, right? It was harbouring some of the most world dangerous shit, yeah, right? Including COVID, HIV, hepatitis, herpes, and a load of other shit. This is like weapons grade shit.
What
yeah.
the hell?
Now this was a crappy little kind of facility. It wasn't like safe or monitored. It was an illegally run operation. Yeah, right. So obviously the feds have gone in and checked it out. They've basically said they've deemed it a bio lab. Yeah. And what they found in there was it was a mess. Yeah, right. So they found 700 or so mice. Yeah, right. 773 were alive.
Right.
Yeah, right. Which they're analysing now and doing whatever. They're checking for. 175 were dead.
Right.
Yeah. So this is kind of just kept in inhumane conditions, right?
Yeah.
So they basically found loads of tissue, like skin tissue and bodily tissue, vials.
Human.
Yeah, but of all whatever. Do you know what I mean? Like they found blood samples, all sorts, right? So God knows what was going on at this lab.
It sounds like
right?
a proper den.
So the warehouse was just stacked up with boxes and stuff like that. So obviously this was an illegal operation. The Centre for Disease Control have basically come in and been testing substances and declared that there was at least 20 potential infectious agents.
Oh.
Yeah, this, like I say, this place was just like some
mine.
some commercial property that they've opened, literally done this stuff in.
Yeah.
Who it is, who's been operating it, I have no idea, and I don't know if they do. Only if they do, they're not saying anything. But obviously, the investigations found the tenants were Prestige Biotech, which I'm assuming that's who it is then. Which is a Nevada business in California who were running out of California.
Oh shit! So it could have been.
But who they're linked to, I don't know who they are, right? But that's what they say in the name of the company that took out the lease.
Of
on
the
building.
Oh.
Yeah. That's who it's linked to, and that's all they've got. So, Prestige Biotech, which is a company that is registered in Nevada.
Oh,
and
so
unlicensed for business in California. They're not even licensed to operate in California. So, what the fuck they were doing there, is sketchy as. I mean, obviously, it's going to be looked into.
I mean, they must have known that, buy a house, but kit it out. You know what I mean? Don't just put a table and desk in there. And chair.
Well, they're claiming now. So I think they've said they've spoke to Biotech and they've said that they merged companies or whatever. They used to be.
What?
Well, they belonged to a defunct company called Universal Meditech Inc. Yeah, right. Yeah. So they had all this stuff.
Yeah.
And this company's gone bust, and they've took the assets basically. Right? But rather than going in and seeing what they've got and whether anything could be fucking hazardous or anything like that, they've just gone, just leave it. So I still think they're fucking responsible.
They're liable.
They're liable
because they own the company now, and they should have gone in.
Just goes to show how easy things like this can be happen, actually really left unattended.
It's surprising it hasn't
amazing
happened as much as it has.
Yeah. Well, no, it kind of makes you think how it gets out in the first place. Do you know what I mean?
Well,
Stuff like that. Do you know what I mean?
Even the proper labs before COVID, there was 1,000 a year that was being leaked out. Yeah. So that's and now you've got one where there's no security around it, and it just comes out. And so any leak could just devastate the area or even the country.
Oh well, apparently the other addresses that were linked to the building were addresses in China.
Oh,
China.
China's involved there, then.
Yeah, well, apparently biotech company, isn't it? So they've probably got some sort of investment with I don't know, but I'm going to try and find out a bit more information about that because that's really dodgy.
Yeah. Big
I found this next story. This is quite a funny story actually, but a man who thought he could get away with it.
Yeah.
Yeah. So this is a story about a manager of a Pennsylvanian fast food chain, Wendy's.
All right, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, you know, you have an allotted amount of staff, I would imagine. Do you know what I
Yeah,
mean?
of course.
Like in terms of how many people you can have on the books or whatever.
Yeah,
but
yeah.
this guy invented employees.
Oh, right,
and
okay.
then pocketed the wages. Yeah.
Nice.
He had a couple of people on staff, all on 20k a year, and he was
Nice bonus.
they didn't exist.
Nice
They
little
didn't
bonus.
exist. The police have got onto him though. Yeah, right.
And this is happening in America?
Yeah, this is in
Oh, he's gonna
America.
get fucked.
Yeah,
He's
so
gonna
he
get
was
proper done
so
over now.
he's the ex-manager now of a Pennsylvania Wendy's. Made up fake employees to pocket the extra wages. She manually clocked the ghost employees in and out.
Oh, right, okay.
For 128 shifts.
Oh, so
it's a long. She's been going on for a while, yeah. So the woman was charged with theft and deception, and arrested, and a warning issued. The former general manager of the Wendy's restaurant in Pennsylvania, who police said made up fake employees so she could pocket the wages, has been charged.
Good.
I mean,
Good.
I feel like she thought she was on a really.
Yeah,
she had
I
a really
think
good
she- yeah.
idea. Like she was like,
She was until she got caught.
is this a good idea? No, I don't think.
No.
I think like anything that you have to question whether this is a good idea is probably not a good idea.
Yeah,
because
yeah,
it's
that's a good
and the
idea.
thing with these things is it's always going to catch up on you.
Yeah.
They
yeah.
always catch up on you, so
Yeah.
just don't bother doing it.
Now, if you did it for a couple of weeks or a couple of months, she'd probably have gotten away with it, to be honest.
Maybe if she did it it didn't work out, so we'll let him go.
Well, there's less money as well coming out of the company's pocket, so she'll have less charges, so there's more likely she'd probably get fined and get sacked.
Yeah, and that's
Instead
it,
of,
isn't
like,
it?
she's looking at jail time now.
Oh yeah, well it depends. 128 shifts. I
Yeah.
mean, like I mean, I
would have
suppose
thought there's
exactly
how many employees are?
Well, that's
Let's say 5.
6 months, isn't it? She's done it for 6 months,
Yeah.
basically.
So
if
let's
if
say
they were
5.
like working full time,
Yeah.
maybe.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah. So
It
there's
might have
at
been
least-
part time shift.
Well, if they were 20 grand a year, well, there's at least 10, let's say 5 people, there's 50 grand.
Well,
You know what
I mean,
So
well,
that's a
whatever
big
the
chunk
situation.
instead of like 10 grand.
Yeah, I think she thought she was onto a winner there, but
Yeah.
not
Good
a
idea,
sausage.
but not a bright spark.
It's all good at Wendy's.
Yeah, get-
I've never been. We don't have Wendy's over here.
No.
Is
I've
it
heard
nice?
of Wendy's though.
I've heard of Wendy's.
Yeah.
We were talking about Taco Bell actually on the TikTok Live.
Oh, right.
Yeah, we do TikTok. We're on TikTok Live a lot at the moment. So if
Right,
you
yeah.
you are as well,
Ah,
you know,
yeah.
he forgets. Well, he's not really been joining the live too much, but he will
Yeah,
be.
I will be.
But like, if you are on TikTok and you want to join us, follow us on Never a Straight Answer, and jump in the lives because like we do chat about stuff on there as well.
We do.
But what was we talking about?
We was talking about Wendy's.
Yeah, I was talking about Wendy's, but we was talking about Taco Bell as well.
Yes,
Because there's a
that's
lot
right.
of American chain restaurants that
yeah.
we've heard of because of movies and popular culture.
Yeah, of
never
course, that's
actually
how they-
experienced. I've never been
Yeah,
to the
no.
States, so I don't know.
No, same here.
But like I was asking people like what their opinion of a Taco Bell is.
Yeah.
And there was a lad who said like we have them in the UK apparently, like,
Do
but
we?
they're very rare. I've never seen one.
No,
but he says
I
like
haven't.
when he comes to Belfast,
All right.
like, and he gets one. Like, but it's like he says it's just minging fast food, but it's just nice. Do you know what I mean? Like,
Yeah,
which I
yeah,
appreciate. Yeah,
Yeah.
I've got to give. Oh, remind me as well to give subscriber shout outs towards the end as well.
If I remember,
don't.
yeah.
No, don't. If you remember, I need to remember.
Yeah, I'll write down now.
Okay. Thanks for that.
You're welcome. Yeah.
Appreciate that.
Yeah.
Right. Okay. I found this next story, and then I'll let you do one.
Yeah.
If that's all right, while you're writing.
Yeah. Go
This
for
is
it, bud.
this is because of climate change.
Yeah.
Right. Ice caps are melting and stuff. Yeah.
Ooh,
right.
yeah.
But that's meant it's uncovering stuff that you might not have. We might have thought was lost forever.
That is true.
Yeah. Right. Maybe it was gone for good. We're never going to find that.
Yes.
Fucking lost it. Right. Yeah. Well, the remains of a German mountain climber who went missing 37 years ago whilst hiking along a glacier in Switzerland.
Oh, yeah.
It was near the iconic Matterhorn. Has been recovered.
Oh, sweet.
37 years later, the melting glaciers led to a re-emerging of the body and also his belongings, which everyone thought to be long lost. The climber was hiking along the glacier on the 12th of July and discovered a human remains and several pieces of equipment. The police have said they've identified it as this missing person.
Yeah.
And he's been missing he was 38 at the time, and he's been reported missing because he never returned off his hike. So
And
at
now
least
we know why.
that's nice, though, because at least he can be put to rest.
Yeah,
The climber's
totally.
remains underwent a forensic analysis, apparently, allowing experts to link the 1986 disappearance.
Yeah.
And all good. That's really good.
Yeah.
Like, I mean,
it's an ending
sometimes
to
you
it.
think, like, yeah, exactly. It's like he's gone up on a hike and never come back.
Yeah.
Like, at least you've got some sort of like closure on it.
Totally.
And you
The
can
family should be
totally
more at peace.
identify that person as the person. So well done. Well done, that man, for finding him. A bit of a horrific find, though, isn't it?
A bit of a little result for the family, and
Because
I suppose
imagine,
for
like,
him,
if you've been frozen in the glacier. I mean, are you gonna? What? I wonder what state the body was in.
Oh well, yeah.
Was it
I
preserved,
wouldn't
or
have
was
thought
it-
it would have decomposed fast.
No, not fast, but like.
But then
you know,
again, we've
it's
had
been fresh
different hot
frozen.
weathers, haven't we? So the weathers have changed over that period. The weather's been more hot, heated.
Whatever
so-
I say, if I was walking having a hike and I come across that, I'd be a bit like shit. Like,
Oh,
it'd freak me out a little bit. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah,
Yeah, right.
yeah,
Anyway,
yeah.
have you got any
Probably.
news stories you want to talk about?
Have you heard about this ferry full
Ferry.
of cars
Cross the Mersey.
just off the Dutch coast, set on fire?
Was it electric cars on it? By any
They
chance?
were actually. There was actually a little bit of
Fuck's
fibbing
sake.
going on as well. Because
Right, go on, explain. You start from the beginning. Go on. I just had a guess there, and I feel like I've ruined your story. Go on.
Yeah, no, there was this fire started on this boat with, I believe, over 3,000 cars.
There was no twisted fire starter on board, though.
There wasn't, not as far as I know.
Okay.
And there was a lot of people injured. One person died. It was terrible.
Tore through the boat,
proper
basically. Yeah.
tore through. And at first, the company stated that there was something like 500 electric cars in there, but it turned out to be around about 2,000.
Thing is, lithium batteries, if they
And this is
overheat,
the case,
they blow up, even if there's no power going to them.
Yeah.
Right. So
there's a lot of that lately. Actually,
we had
like
that,
little
yeah.
bikes
So,
and stuff.
like, do you know, we use those, or we, like, in one of the studios I was working in, we used those blow heaters.
Yeah.
Yeah, right. And they got, like, a third-party battery for them. They're not blow heaters, sorry. Like leaf blowers.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Oh, yeah,
right.
yeah.
And you get a bit of shit off the set or whatever. And it was like,
Looking
you know,
easy.
you use the leaf blower and you used a third-party battery for it. Yeah,
Right.
A Milwaukee blower.
Right.
But, like, the battery wasn't a Milwaukee
Actually,
battery.
it was another company.
And it overheated in the charger and set on fire, right? Yeah. And once it set on fire and exploded the first time, like, it's a chain reaction, man. They just blow.
Yeah, you can't
right?
stop
So
it, yeah.
threw it outside and it carried on exploding, unplugged.
Yeah.
Yeah, right. It just, the heat had got too much and those lithium batteries just go. So, like, if there was a fire from even anywhere else on the boat and that was enough to heat up one of those cars,
Yeah.
enough that the battery had gone,
Yeah, and
then
don't forget-
there's a chain reaction there. There's 100 cars on that boat.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Petrol
So,
in some of the other cars and that as well. I should imagine there'd be a little bit for driving
so
on. and off.
with that, I feel like that it might have been the car's fault, but if they were all stationary with no one's doing anything. But then again, you get those swelling in lithium batteries, like where if they start expanding, you need to get rid of the battery. And that can
salty
happen
seas as well
just
can-
sitting there. So, you know, I don't know how they build these lithium batteries for cars, to be honest.
Well, not safe enough, I believe.
I just keep seeing videos of buses.
They are.
Yeah, I'll send you some videos, but I keep seeing some videos of electric buses in flames, and it's not funny because there's, like, obviously passengers and stuff.
Yeah,
like,
it's a
but
high risk.
anyway, you know, and again, I keep saying this, but you still got to burn fossil fuels to get the electric to charge your car.
Exactly.
So it's like, yeah. Anyway,
They're trying
right,
to move more in nuclear though at the moment.
nuclear cars,
Yeah. Well, no, nuclear power to power everything.
nuclear. Well,
Well, power at
fusion.
least. Yeah, well, yeah.
Well,
yeah,
you've segued me quite nicely on
Yeah.
because, like, you know, not only do they use nuclear, but wind turbines,
Yes,
are a very, you know, big thing. People using the wind turbines
Yeah.
to generate energy. China's has a long,
Use of it.
history of using wind power.
Yeah.
Earlier this year, it was reported that the country had begun construction of a wind farm using what they were saying the largest turbines ever seen. Yeah, right. They've just put one up.
See?
So yeah, it's massive. It's like 500 feet tall. Yeah.
Jesus.
And each single blade is about 123 meters, which is 103 feet. Yeah. The weight is 54 tons, which means it is sweeping blades of just like rotating, covering an area of 50,000 square meters. Yeah, which is about 540,000 square feet. This is a big windmill. Yeah, right. It's the first time such a large turbine has ever been like used and hooked up to the commercial grid. So you know what I mean? It's like, how much energy is that generating? Do you know what I mean? But according to the construction company who built it, just one of these turbines should produce enough energy to power 36,000 homes. Yeah.
Oh.
So in one of them, just stick one up, and you'd power half of Britain.
Well,
do you know what I mean? You know, stick one on each corner. We'll be right, honestly.
Shove them in the sea, man. Bang.
Well, that's where they've put theirs. Yeah, right. But it's like, it's so big. Yeah, right. So it's the Fujian offshore wind farm site. Yeah. And it does actually have gusts up to gusts force 7 over there. Do you know, in terms of the coastal winds?
Yeah.
So like, they do have a good area. But we get wind. We get loads of wind around England, yeah. We would definitely smash it. We'd be selling energy to other countries with the rate we get wind.
Yeah.
Get one of them massive big turbines, can't we? Sack nuclear.
Nah, I still think we need nuclear.
It's funny, though, because they'll just put a big enough wind turbine off that like, we'll just start floating off. We'll propel Earth off into space like we're our own little spaceship.
It just makes me laugh how the world goes on about climate change, yet there's at least 10 companies that actually are looking at experiments and trying to control the weather. And now, like, you've got big ass windmills.
Well, think about
it. That could do something.
Well, you've just hit the nail on the head, right? Yeah. No. So if you think about it, and look, right, most companies, like, you know, it used to be big oil, right? Yeah. And right. Big oil's now going, shit, we nobody wants us, or we need to change direction or go more greener, right? Yeah. We've got this bad reputation for fucking ruining the atmosphere and the environment and spilling oil on seals and stuff like that, right? Yeah. So what can we do, right? So they'll start changing or investing in building a new company that, we'll do wind farms and stuff, right? Because it's a way of cashing in on what's going on. Yeah, right?
Last 20 years they've been cashing in.
So, but again, you've just hit the nail on the head, So it's like, well, wind turbines, right? Well, that only depends on if you've got a lot of wind to generate the turbines to gather that energy. Yeah. Well, how do we do that? Well, weather manipulation. Yeah. So if we can make it windy 90% of the time, then we can generate more energy.
They wanted to put
I wanted to see the other moons. They were going to put loads of moons up, apparently, and they never did it.
I believe
we talked about that, and I wanted to see that.
I believe they're still on for it, and
I want to see your little moons.
Something's gone wrong because they were going to try. They were going to try it about a year ago, but something went wrong.
They didn't,
so they haven't. But their idea is still there.
The moons and little moons in the sky. If you want, here's a little story. I'm not going to go too much into it because it's pretty much self-explanatory. Yeah, but Subway are offering people free sandwiches for life if you change your name legally to Subway.
Just Subway.
Just Subway. Yeah.
Oh no, nah, mate. Nah.
You could change your middle name to Footlong.
Oh, that's true.
Yeah, so you could be like...
Yeah, but you could do that anyway. Without putting Subway in there.
Yeah, I know, but like, you sound like a kind of like a
I'm really,
Subway
Footlong.
I really could... Yeah, no, you'd be like Subway Footlong Taylor.
Yeah.
That's the first, second, and middle last name, do you know what I mean?
Yeah,
like, Subway like Footlong Taylor.
No,
I think that'd work. I think Subway sandwiches for life, though. I mean, obviously, if you know what's in Subway.
Exactly. So, I was going to say we've done a couple of reports on.
We're always talking about
Subway.
This is why they're clutching at straws now. They can't even give the sandwiches away because they're all like, "Hang about, wait, somebody take a sandwich, and only if you change your name."
Yeah, we try tattooing, putting billboards up. No, that ain't work. Right, we try We'll try paying people's
it's
cars.
like, what's he going to do? So it's like if he's going to think that when people are filling out forms or whatever, everyone in the office is going to go, yeah, I fancy one of them, actually. That's the only way? Because, I mean, it's quite a personal thing, isn't it? How often does he go around telling people his name?
Yeah,
or she, whoever decides to go on this. I mean, where's the marketing beneficial? Where it doesn't seem beneficial to me.
No, and if I did it, if I got a sandwich off you and I passed it to my mate, and then I wanted another sandwich, do I still get that sandwich? And my mate don't have to pay anything?
They'd probably be like one a day. You know what they're like?
Well, yeah.
They'd be like, no, free sandwiches for life just means you can come in and get one every day. You can't have, like, ultimate sandwiches whenever you fancy a sandwich. Yeah,
Here's
that's
one,
too
then.
much.
Well, what if the company goes down because this marketing ploy hasn't worked?
Well, it's a shit
then you
marketing
can't
ploy,
have a
isn't
Subway
it?
for life, can
Exactly, yeah, there's no Subways to be had
exactly.
then, in that
so
case.
What are the compensation on that? Give me £1 million. Yeah, I'll do it.
You want to change my name back?
It only takes 2 years.
Again, I've got another story. I'm sorry I'm hogging the stories, but I do have another one. This is another food-related one, though, so I thought it was quite, works quite nicely. British Airways, I don't know how they manage this, right, forced to serve passengers KFC after a problem with the in-flight meal service.
So they got first-class meal instead.
I thought the KFC would have been way better. If I was on a flight and someone came in and went, would you like a Zinger burger? I would be like, yeah.
Yeah, all right then.
Yeah, please. Got some chicken wings, thighs. What have you got?
Yeah,
I mean, how are you getting this delivered? Right, that's the thing, isn't it? Right, hang on. I know Uber Eats are good and all that, right. But if you're on a British Airways flight, and there's a problem with the meal, I mean, obviously it wasn't delivered, so I don't understand. Right, did they bring in the Colonel?
Yeah,
they must have flown him in.
Yeah. Get your herbs and spices, son. Come on.
The story is food. You know, there was a problem. There was a problem with the and one better way that, and it's like someone made a good call there. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Whoever said we'll just get them all KFC needs a promotion.
They could have gone for Domino's. They could have gone for McDonald's.
Domino's. They could have had Taco Bell. Could have had anything.
Yeah.
But no,
went for
KFC because do you know why?
Because it was finger licking good.
Yeah, exactly. I was gonna. Exactly.
That.
The thing is, we're not endorsed by KFC at all, but we would like to be, so we get some free chicken.
Yeah, I like
the chicken.
Yeah. Chicken and chips.
Big piece of chicken. But I thought that was quite I mean, I just still can't. They must have rather had it in cold, right? Yeah.
Oh.
Like, because they brought it in off the takeoff.
Yeah.
Right, and they don't serve the meal until they're about halfway through the flight.
Yeah.
So it's been sat there for 2 hours, right? And the next story you'll hear is like KFC flight gets
poison,
E. coli,
poison in the flight,
salmonella.
We thought we'd try it out, not again.
Yeah, they need a little. You'll get it on your little pad, won't you, in front of your seat? Do you know where like the little McDonald's menu? He'll come up and go, what do you want?
Hey, you know what, though?
A little Uber Eats guy comes past you, right down the aisle, giving you delivery.
I could see that happening in the future, to be honest.
I probably see that happening.
You know what I mean? Bigger planes. With the bigger planes, you got more room.
You'll get a KFC franchise on the shop. Yeah. On the plane.
I want a plane to Jamaica with
a Pizza Hut.
Yeah, Pizza Hut in there. Yeah, done. Sweet, nice.
Yeah. I like that idea. I like that idea. That's a great idea. Yeah, we want that. Yeah. If that's not a thing by the end of the year. Yeah, right. Then we're coming to get you EasyJet. Well, I'm not expecting it off EasyJet. Let's be fair. British Airways.
We will be a bit cheap though, won't we? What, £1 billion we'll say? Each?
If you go on EasyJet, it'll be like, right, we've got Tony's pizzas from down the road.
There you go. You get a chip. You don't get a full lot of chip. You get a chip. There you go. That's what you get for your ticket.
No offence to EasyJet.
No.
But it is a budget airline, so you get a doner kebab.
And
you get a doner kebab and a can of Coke.
Yeah.
And that's it, and be happy with it.
Get Pepsi.
Fucking hell, wish you got that, to be fair, on some flights.
Well, yeah, true.
Anyway, have you got any news stories you want to talk about?
I have.
Go on then.
The south of Spain.
I thought you were going to say France. But
I was going to say that, actually. But
no, he wasn't.
I realised that, actually, it's Spain, it's not France.
Oh, right.
Yeah. Yeah, the south of Spain has started doing some test flights with taxis.
I've seen this.
Yeah,
Yeah, flying taxis.
flying taxis that they're sort of like
On next week's show,
or helicopters.
Spain have had a mishap with flying taxis and killed about 5 people.
For the last couple of months, I've been listening into this about there's been arguments on what if it goes down, stuff happening, but there's guidelines on that kind of stuff. And what they're doing is it's from like the airport to, let's say, well, let's be honest, a rich person's house, and then back.
So
and
basically, they'll have
really
to have some sort of relays at the place or whatever. I don't know how
you're
this
gonna
works.
have to have room
or some sort of
land.
kind of like flight path.
Well,
Yeah,
this is
and they're
another
taking
thing.
up from the airport, off from the airport, I assume.
Yes,
so there's
yeah.
another thing. So you can, it's like getting a taxi from the airport, isn't it?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Like,
Instead
and-
of traffic, you're straight there. Bang, 5 minutes, you got home.
Well, just get a helicopter if you've got that sort of money.
That's what. Yeah, exactly.
You know what I mean? If you're going to be
Exactly.
fucking about it, I can't afford any of that.
But it depends what the rates are going to be, really. I mean, think about it.
Yeah, they're going to be affordable.
First.
I hope they're affordable for your average person, because
Well,
I mean, like flying taxis sound pretty awesome.
Well, if it works, I'm presuming that they will end up
More
like,
commercial.
Yeah,
like,
exactly, and the
everybody
money
gets
will
to
go into it. But then that still goes into the thing of.
Finally, flying cars. Like, this is
Yeah.
what I mean, we've been waiting for this since Back to the Future 2.
Yeah,
let's
and
face
there's been
it,
a couple
and before.
of years where they were going to do it, but for some reason they didn't. But now they have started doing it. They've
Well, good
actually
for them.
started doing
I mean,
it.
it's like it's about time, really, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's like it comes to the joke where, like, you know, when you watch a time travel movie, that they go, well, not much has changed, like,
No.
because not much would have changed, but like, I'd like to see some sort of massive changes like that.
Well,
Do you know what I mean?
well, hopefully with the UFO thing going off at the minute, it will actually.
Or like flying
Products
around
will
like the
come through.
Jetsons.
Yeah, yeah.
That'd be mint.
Hey, I just want to be beamed up. You know what I mean? Beam me up, Scotty. You know what I mean? Beam me to McDonald's.
Scotty beamed me up twice last night, sir.
Yeah.
What was that off? Oh, it was off Spaceballs.
Ah.
Yeah, he was like,
I haven't
"Oh,
seen
is
that
it
for
safe?"
years,
I
man.
know. Is it? I haven't actually, but it's such a good film. I might
Yeah.
have to rewatch that. Is
might
it
watch-
safe?
yeah.
And he's like, "Scotty beamed me up twice last night."
I think it was on a couple of months ago as well, actually. But I just
It was it?
Yeah, but I didn't manage.
If you've
to
never
watch
seen it, definitely go
Oh,
and
I
check
have
out
seen it.
Spaceballs. No, I'm just talking to the
Oh, the
listeners
viewers,
out there.
yeah.
I've actually
Yeah,
got it on
it's good.
VHS somewhere.
Oh right.
Yeah, Spaceballs the movie.
VHS.
I'm still
okay.
waiting for the sequel.
Do you reckon they're ever made
Spaceballs
one?
2, the quest for more money.
Yeah.
That's what they
Did
were
they
going to
get
call
there?
it. But well, no, because they made a joke of it, didn't they, in Spaceballs? Because they'd
Okay.
be like, you know, they've got Mr. Coffee and then like all the merch stuff, and it'd be
Oh,
like,
right.
oh, Spaceballs, the T-shirt, Spaceballs, the board game, all this, and then
Yeah.
they go, oh, when they've even get the video out and fast forward through it to find out what happens in the plot in Spaceballs. So it was like, you know, they do make a joke about the sequel
Yeah.
in the film, and they call it Spaceballs 2: The Search for More Money. Yeah, like, and you know, but I think Adam Goldberg, who created the Goldbergs,
Yeah.
was is a big Mel Brooks fan, and
Yeah.
there is an episode of the Goldbergs where he says, "I vow to make this movie." Yeah. Like, and I'm
Yeah,
not sure
Jones, I
if
think
I'm
it
not
was.
sure if that was like a little kind of nod to say that that's happening or what. But I would
Nice
like to
little nod,
see
though.
another version of Spaceballs, especially now that there's been so many new Star Wars movies. There's so many
Yeah.
new things to poke fun at. I think the time's
Yeah.
right for a new Spaceballs. Do you know what I
'cause
mean?
they tend to go back to the old products only and then bring it all.
Rick Moranis is acting as well again now.
Is he?
Yeah, so I think because he was looking after his kids for a while, wasn't he? He retired from acting.
Yeah.
I mean, I know he's kind of getting on a bit, but I think to reprise his role as Dark Helmet,
Yeah.
who knows? Maybe
Yeah.
that might happen in the future. I'd love to see it.
Yeah, it'd be nice to see.
Is Mel Brooks still alive?
I don't think so.
Oh, well.
God, but if he is, he's getting closer to heaven.
Well, whatever. He's still funny.
Yeah. Yeah.
Anyway, moving on. Talking about closer to heaven. we were talking about this a couple. I think it was last year we first reported on this story of a woman who'd met a ghost and fallen in love.
Oh yes, I remember.
I think it was last Halloween.
I think you might be right.
And we were talking about her. She's a singer-songwriter and performer from Oxfordshire. She said that she basically met a ghost of an army soldier who was devilishly handsome.
Oh, he's gorgeous.
And decided to marry him, right?
Yeah.
Well,
how
long? It's not even been a year.
Did she get married?
She did. Yeah,
she married him now.
She married the ghost.
Photos? Was he dressed nice?
He was always in his uniform. Apparently, apparently he was always dressed in his uniform. But this ghost, she said it's not working out. Yeah. After marrying the ghost, the 40-year-old from Oxfordshire said that Eduardo, which was the name of the ghost, right? Was being kind of like, wasn't the man she fell in love with, let's face it. After their spirited love affair hit the headlines last year, obviously, like, you know, they've kind of settled down. They tried to get in the swing of things. She said the married life's not been all it cracked up to be. She said that kids. On their honeymoon to Barry Island in Wales, that Eduardo drank way too much. And was a bit of a...
And he likes the spirits,
he was on the
right
spirits.
Place, isn't he?
She said that he's become increasingly possessive.
Oh, right.
Right, and like, just not the man she married. So, she's getting a divorce.
Oh, my
She's now divorcing her ghost husband.
Oh,
so she's back on the market. So, obviously, a keeper.
Yeah, if you're a nutter, and you like your women, like, a bit fruity, then, you know...
Eduardo's single as well, ladies. If you're looking for a ghostly boyfriend who likes a tipple down in Barry Island.
Well, didn't he like Marilyn Monroe, was it?
Oh, yes, that's true, actually. She also said that he's got an unhealthy fascination with Marilyn Monroe.
Well, he could get close to her.
This is why I think she's got a problem.
Yeah.
Because, the chances of her meeting Marilyn Monroe and actually running off are higher. Because and having a physical relationship on some sort of level.
If he's in limbo and she's in so-called heaven.
I can't even believe we're even discussing this.
I know.
Well, anyway, Well, she's got Marilyn Monroe.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? She's obviously the
Marilyn's
jealous type.
the other woman.
Marilyn is definitely the other woman in this scenario.
But does she fancy him?
I don't know.
But if he was gorgeously handsome,
I feel like she just needs someone to talk to, so don't worry about it.
There's a number.
There is a number. Have you got anything you would like to talk about?
Done the flying cars on that.
Taylor, do you need to talk? Is there anyone? Do you need to talk, Taylor?
No,
I'm here if you need to talk. Honestly, I'm here. I'm here. Don't worry about it. It's all right.
I thought you were a ghost, thankful.
It's all right though.
Yeah. Oh,
you're all right though.
Yeah.
Right. Anyway, go on.
About this Congress that went on over the last couple of weeks about UFO.
Oh, I didn't realise we were there yet. I literally had one more story and I was there.
Oh, right.
Yeah, because NASA News, innit?
Yeah.
Well, that's what I was going to say.
Okay.
That's why I was wondering, because that's it. I've literally got...
Well, got that or the chip in the hand.
What?
The chip in the hand.
I don't believe that's true. Right. I honestly don't believe that's true. I've got two kind of small stories, right? So the first one is a woman who received over 100 Amazon parcels that she never ordered.
Okay, lucky guy.
Right. Well, no, because they were all stupid stuff like glue guns and stuff. Yeah, she was giving them out to her friends. She said she got
eBay, mate.
1,000 headlamps delivered to her house,
eBay?
plus 800 glue guns and a dozen pairs of binoculars.
Hey, army naval stores, bird watchers.
Well, this is it, right? Apparently, watch out for this, people, because apparently it's a bit of a scam that Amazon sellers are using to get rid of old stock.
Yeah.
Because it shows that they've basically sent it out to a customer. Yeah.
Yeah.
And they write it off, whereas it's like if they sell it or, you need to get rid of it, like, or whatever.
Yeah.
So, like, large amounts of one item coming to your house, then it's probably like they've just chose your address at random to get rid of a load of surplus stock.
Yeah, choose it,
know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's funny though, isn't it?
Stock,
but it's happened to 2 people in the same area there, so that was interesting.
So they've got their eyes out on it now. So
yeah, exactly.
Less chance now.
Less chance potentially, but maybe more chance because other sellers do it.
Yeah,
do you know what I mean?
That's true.
Well, last little story. Skittles, the Taste of Rainbow Company.
Oh yeah.
And French's Original Mustard.
Right.
Yeah, have joined forces to create a candy flavour for National Mustard Day. Now, I'm one for celebrating these days, you know. Right, I love a good day celebration. I do it all the time, yeah.
Yeah.
Like celebrating like National whatever day.
What was it today?
I'll tell you what it is today, actually, because I've got this information readily available me. Because this is why I celebrate every day. Do you know what I mean? So it's National Father-in-Law Day today.
Oh right. Okay.
As of recording this, well, it's not right because we're actually ticked over now. But like if it was today,
it would have been.
It would have been National Father's Day, Father-in-Law Day.
Okay.
Right. Yeah.
Right.
So if you're married and you've got a father-in-law,
say hello.
It was National Father-in-Law Day, right? Yeah. It was also National Whistleblower Day.
Okay. I did blow my whistle. Damn it.
Right. National Cheesecake Day, and National Paper Book Day. So to put your Kindle down, read a paper book.
Hey, yeah. We need more.
Tomorrow, Monday. So you'll probably be getting this tomorrow on Monday anyway. Yeah. That's when your download will be available from. It's National Avocado Day.
Oh, what?
National. I know. Yeah. Black Tot Day. So it's a drink.
Oh
apparently.
Right. Okay.
So have a bit of a tipple with a bit of one of these particular drinks. Okay. National Raspberry Cake Day.
Oh, I'll go with that.
Yeah, and World Ranger Day.
Ranger, as in the football.
Now, you see,
club.
people just have world this, that, and the other day, isn't it? Because they want to raise awareness about a certain thing, but there's so many a day.
Yeah. The days have run out.
They've run
out.
Like
double, tripling up.
5 or 6 things going on one day.
Yeah.
But yeah, going back to that story, it's National Mustard Day on the 5th of August.
Right.
5th of August, and Skittles have brought out a candy with the taste of the famous French's mustard. It's the first ever mustard flavoured Skittles.
They've put sweets in fucking and anything
I'm interested. I mean, listen, right? They're not.
Just,
is it going to be nice? Because they bring these things out, and
they're
it's
not going to
like,
bring it out if it's not nice. Are they,
well, exactly. That's what I'm saying. So have we missed something? It's like peanut butter and chocolate. Do you know? It's like two combinations. Would you have thought they go together? And now they're bringing out mustard candy. Would that be a nice thing? I'm interested to try it.
I thought they crossed the line when they went orange and chocolate.
Well, chocolate orange is delicious. I think a lot of people would say that's delicious.
No.
Well, the food brand offers a debut little look at it. But most people might think it's a bit of a gross flavour. But, I think it's going to be one of those things that will definitely go viral because it's a Marmite situation. It's like some people are going to love it, some people are going to hate it, and that's it. That spurs on the marketing.
If you see a packet, are you going
I'm going to try them.
If I see a packet, I'll possibly
mustard Skittles.
Just to try it, yeah.
I like French's mustard. It's kind of sweeter anyway, isn't it?
Not really.
French's mustard's got a sweet taste to it anyway, I've got to admit. Yeah. It's not an offensive mustard like Coleman's or anything, but it's definitely got like a sweeter taste. So thinking about it, I could see where they're going with it. I'm interested. I am interested.
Okay,
but National Mustard Day on the 5th of August. I keep saying April.
August.
Anyway, that's it.
So
right, going back to your UFO story. Yeah, it has, because I've got this as my story as well, one of my stories. Whistleblower tells Congress the US is concealing multiple decades of kind of UFO information. This is what you were going to go into, wasn't it? Now we covered David Greash a couple of weeks ago. I think it was a couple. What episode?
About 6 weeks ago.
6 weeks ago, right, about him coming forward and saying that the US government are hiding and not disclosing information related to Roswell in particular. Right. But now he's been able to, and remember when we were on we had the In Plain Sight guy.
Yeah.
And he was talking about what's coming up and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And I think he brought this up about what's coming up in terms of disclosure and all the rest of it.
That's
because there's been loads of, panels and kind of Congress meetings.
Congress was the important one.
Related to the subject now, right?
Yeah.
So it's getting quite serious in the sense that, like, things are coming out and being questioned and scrutinised. Now, the thing is that a video's been brought up that, that was kind of like a crucial piece of evidence, they reckoned, right? Now, I discussed it with you because it's a video that I saw about at least 20 years ago.
Yeah.
And it was it was an alien being interrogated.
That's
right. And I kind of felt looks very fake, right?
Yeah.
But it's basically being questioned now as legit footage, right? Yeah. So are we going to find this more and more where, like, there's so many hoaxes out there that people want answers, and it's going to be a case of them breaking down each individual piece of evidence to say that's fake, that's legit, that's this, that's that.
I think we're going to have to.
And they're going to have to hold Congress meetings for everything. Now, I know that they probably do have some secrets like this, right? Yeah. And I said it earlier on in the show, and it kind of holds light to or every other government.
Yeah.
Because if, this David Greer, he's come out to Congress and said, I want answers, the people want answers, you're co-conspirating
now, They've got 6
against the people of this country, because you're holding evidence, you're holding information that we should be getting. We should,
he's more into the technology that they're holding that we can use now to solve all our problems now. But
what technology does he believe that they've got that will do that?
One energy technology for like no pollution. With this, with the technology that he,
he believes they've got, right? Yeah, right. But generally, wouldn't you think that if there was such a thing, they would be trying to use it for our betterment?
No.
Well, why not?
Because a part of it is not necessarily the government. It's the off-sites of the government where black budget goes to private companies. But they hold the power there. Like, well, we're like strip this machine down and we'll build something back up. But when we do, we will sell it to you, and also we get the rights on all of it and what we can do with it. So the government don't have any rights on collecting anything there. And there's like, especially I want to look into there's one agency where they seem to be the ones who. If we are using flying saucers, they're actually flying them. They're like the army within the army, basically. They're like the Men in Black, really.
Okay.
Because
I know, like, obviously, like, black budget, right? Yeah. Is that in itself, right? By funding projects that your everyday citizens aren't obviously allowed to know about, right? They'll say it's kind of, well, like, it's part of national security, we've got to do these things up to keep you safe, or whatever, right? But it's also basically spending their money, spending your taxpayer money on doing something that you can't be privy to. And it's like, no one's asking for all the ins and outs. They just, some people are, but like most people just want to know a basic yes or no answer, right? And that's it, right? If they would say, look, yes, there is something, we can't really go into it because it's top secret, but we can tell you that there was this happened. Do you know what I mean? Give an overview press release like they do for most other things. Do you know what I mean?
This is another thing that they're trying to do as well, because what they want to do is the classification, because the way the system works is like you've got like a 250-page document. You have a look at the first page. It says something that you don't want to let out, and all of it goes in a file and thrown away. Put away. So
it goes again back to the Roswell incident, because obviously there was a supposed alien entity captured from that, right?
But 12 from another side.
And again, well, this is the thing, right? Because they say we've never made contact, right? Yeah, and we don't know if we're alone in the universe, right? But if they have made contact and they've interrogated one, or they've had a treaty with one, or met for meetings with a team of them, or whatever, then that is important information. It answers a lot of questions as into our place in the universe, right? Yeah. And that's what I think what most people are bothered about, right? Because regardless of whether it's technology or what, no one's asked about the technology. I don't think it's that question. Are we alone out here? It's like, it's a big question. And by not answering that question, or going, well, we know, but we're not going to tell you, it's a conspiracy, right? And if people, like I say, if the whistleblowers that are in the States and then, kind of like are actually starting to make headway with it and get answers, then it opens the barn doors for every other government, because they're probably doing exactly the same thing. So, it's interesting. It is interesting.
It is a case of, I mean, I've always, it's kind of gone against the government system and that, but it's not necessarily them people in them positions. It's the ones who have got control of it, but everyone blames, the government.
Well, that's what they say. Every president sworn in always says,
they say,
duped. I wanted to know about the aliens, and I always ask, but they said there's nothing to see.
But they've been
or whatever,
duped from like private organisations have duped them into actually bringing in, National Security Act, the CIA. Like 1947 was and 8 and 9 was a big year for a lot of agencies. A big year for a lot of the agencies to come out, and them agencies have got a lot of them have got little corners of free reign of doing whatever they want.
So do you think those agencies wouldn't have existed if it wasn't for the Roswell incident? Because it was necessary to cover it up. I think with the CIA, and they branched out, didn't they? They thought, we'll dabble in a bit of anything. We're just like,
see, it's
like a load of frat boys.
You always see on the movies. I mean, they've even been to Congress and courts so many times over doing stuff. You know what I mean? And it's like, but the agency's still there. And even look, JFK. One of his last letters was his messages was he was gonna tear the CIA into millions of pieces.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Well, the bottom line on that, there was a couple of cases covered. There was obviously the hearing to show that there need to be more transparency with these things. But also about a UFO that apparently hovered over California's Air Force Base in 2003. The Congress and congressional witness testimonies that were that came out as well. There's loads of little bits. I did post, somebody posted a really interesting video on TikTok and I reposted it. So maybe look out for that, because that kind of covered all the highlights and the big questions. So it was
big
good.
Questions. Hopefully a lot of big answers that are going to come out. I mean, like I said, they've legally or lawfully got 6 months to come out. If they don't come out after that, then that's the time when prosecution should happen. And now Congress has gotten involved.
He also asked if anyone had been ever been murdered, and if there was a bit of cover up. So I mean,
Greece he can only say so much in front of the cameras. But what he stated there was, we'll go behind the doors, and I will tell you, I've shown evidence to the top guy, but I will have a private meeting. And I will show you, and I will tell you all these answers, because there was a lot of I can't say anything because he's still under the cover of the rights of he can't speak.
Well, basically, there's people out there who actually think that in not so many words, in that meeting or that hearing, that they basically said that they do exist. And what more? They basically, it's almost like the government are announcing that aliens are real. Do you know what I mean? So I don't know.
Yeah.
It's interesting. Like I say, it's one of those
Gonna be
where
interested for the next 6 months.
we'll see what happens. Obviously, I think that's it for my stories. I think as well. There's been a few kind of UFO sightings as well over the last couple. It's always UFO sightings recently.
It's great. The more the merrier, because then more people will ask the questions. What is that?
Exactly, yeah. Professor Brian Cox weighs in on the existence of aliens as well 2 days ago.
Oh, did he?
Well, I'm just about to read what he's saying here because he is an interest. He's quite a funny guy, but he says aliens, so what's it he's saying? Professor Brian Cox said extraterrestrial claims about the existence of aliens were made by the US Senate hearing, but were not backed up by extraordinary evidence.
That's where he's wrong, because they were given to the Congress.
Well, no, that's what he's saying. He's saying the evidence given wasn't really all that. That's what I was saying about this evidence, about the video.
Yeah.
It's like, are we going to be getting to a point now where every single scrap of ufology we've seen for the last 20-odd years, 30, 40 years, is now going to be pulled up in a hearing to be scrutinised whether it's legit or not? Like, because the video that Greesh kind of put forward, and there was another congressman, I think, on another video I was watching, who was like, well, what about this? There's a video that's emerged of an alien being interrogated, and I'm like, no, I've seen this. Yeah. This is kind of like, looks like a Jim Henson puppet. Yeah. And it's being questioned as legit, and it's like, that's what I'm getting at. Is it all going to be a case of that every sort of video we've ever seen or UFO thing is now being kind of seen for the first eyes by a lot of people?
I think we have
I
to
understand.
get to the truth.
Yeah, because obviously it was a very niche thing, and not everybody's seen these things because they weren't looking for them. Yeah, but now more and more people are seeing them. Old hoaxes and old videos are coming back up and surfacing.
Exactly.
That people are going, oh, well, I'm a bit unsure with that. And it's dead funny, though, because you see it in the comments where people will say, oh yeah, and they're using like a fucking, it's the government, and they're sat in a dark room, with no lighting, and with a really shit Nokia 3210 flip phone, or whatever,
and where it's bigger than
it's exactly. I feel like if the government had an alien under interrogation, they'd want it filmed in their most high, with the best lighting. Yeah, they want that on record. Yeah, right.
They
not sat in a dark room with really shady kind of setting, like they're being interrogated by the KGB.
But they
you know what I mean?
I should imagine they'd be using a lot of psyops and
who knows?
Tactical things of torture and that.
Well, there you go. That's this week.
Yeah.
Well, we'll be back next week for another episode. If you've got any comments, queries, or suggestions, you know what to do. You can send us an email.
You can.
At neverstraightanswer@gmail.com. You can hit us up at the website as well, because we've got a contact you page where you can easily send us a message through that. That gets picked up every day.
Yeah.
So you can almost send us a comment as well on the website, on any of the blogs, and obviously on the podcast, which is available on all your podcast platforms, including Spotify, iTunes, iHeartRadio, Castbox, Google Podcasts, Alexa, I believe.
Oh, we're on Alexa now?
Yeah, we've been on Alexa for ages. You just go, hey, Alexa, play the Never a Straight Answer podcast, and it does it. Yeah. Like sci-fi.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're available on YouTube. Everywhere. All the social media platforms, so look us up and come and say hi.
And don't forget the shout-outs.
Yeah. Oh, the shout-outs. Thanks, Taylor. Yeah, we've got... definitely. Thank you for that. We've got some subscription shout-outs. We've upped it by 2 from last week.
Man.
Yeah, so we've... in order, we have... Big thank you to Holly.
Yes,
a big thank you to Josh. A big thank you to Jess.
Yes, Jess.
A big thank you to Kat.
Kat.
A big thank you to Oliver.
Oliver.
A big thank you to... It's not Oliver Twist. Oliver's nice. A big thank you to Jag Official.
Jag Official?
Yeah, and a big shout out to... thank you very much, Elvis.
Elvis.
Guys, thanks for the support. If you want a shout out too, you can get one by, going and subscribing to our TikTok or... our Spotify to get extra content. There's over 50 extra episodes on Spotify, loads of extra content on TikTok as well.
Yes, there is.
Yeah, so well worth it.
Definitely.
Go and check it out. You can support us in the usual ways over on Patreon or just by donating via the website. Merch is available, so go and check that out. And we'll see you next week. And we've got another episode coming up, so we as usual. Yeah. I've been Gaz.
And I've been Taylor.
We've been the Never a Straight Answer podcast. We'll catch you next time. Peace.
Out.